What's going on, everyone? So we're going to take a little live look at the futures. I understand that the stock market is closed today, but the futures market is a world market, so they're going to be open. We're also getting headlines coming in from Russia, some good, some bad, bad, good, bad, good. It's kind of back and forth all over the place. Personally, I really don't know what to believe or what to expect as far as the Russia and Ukraine news. I mean, I can only tell you what everyone else has already read as far as what our media and our, websites and financial outlets are going to tell us. I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. With that being said, we are getting a bit of a washout here on the NQ. By the way, guys, my name is D. Anthony with evolutiontraders.com. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. Please make sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button when you're done watching this video. But I'm just going to kind of go over a technical level on the NQ, which is going to be the NASDAQ and the Triple Qs ETF, as far as a lot of these mega cap stocks. So what I really want to focus on here, and I have the daily chart pulled up, we can see I drew this white trend line down here at the bottom. Now, we all know that 2022 has started off to be not a good year, right? A lot of moves to the downside, a lot of selling pressure. The indexes themselves are not in a bear market, and I'm going to get to that in just a second, but a lot of individual names are in their own bear market. So, we've had extreme volatility to the upside and to the downside, but obviously the bigger moves and the momentum has been to the downside this year. What I really want to focus on here is this level on the NASDAQ futures, which is 13,712. This area is going to be correlating with the low wick and price that we've seen in 2022. So if we start to lose this zone, this is going to validate and this is going to confirm a possible leg down. Now, I know a lot of you guys are thinking that, it has to do with Russia and Ukraine. Let's say Russia does not invade, and let's say that, President Joe Biden, is made out to look like a hero in this whole situation and, kind of diffuse the situation. But let's say that we do lose this level, okay? If we lose this level, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. Technically speaking, we are going to be on a third leg down, and this is going to put the NASDAQ 100 into a bear market. So if the point that I'm trying to make is that even if all of this outside influence is not going on in the world right now, and we lost this level on just a normal trading day with no, real world news, this is really, really bad. This is bad for the bulls. This is bad for mega cap. This is bad for the overall stock market in general. Without the news, without the little bird on our shoulder being the Russia-Ukraine situation. So with that being said, if we do start to wash this level out, this is going to really, really, confirm this third leg down, meaning that we got our first leg down was here. Then we got a little bit of a relief bounce, and then we got this continued flush, okay? This was our second bounce with consolidation. However, this zone that was in here, acting as a 200-day moving average, we know has been, the problem area. We just consolidated. We were never actually able to close above to kind of make this move going higher. And now we're finally getting that third leg down. So if we do flush, this is going to be a complete cycle on a true three-leg correction. Normally when a market corrects, it corrects in threes. So meaning that if we got one flush, two flush, three flush, we don't know how far this can take us, but I do know under this white line here, which is a trend line, 13,712, is going to be officially putting the index on the triple Qs in a bear market with a 20% correction, just depending on how far that we move down. So the problem with that is, even if you think that the selling pressure is over if we break down, because yet is still to be determined, but if we break down, the problem with just starting to buy and loading up here is that when you start buying the dip in a bear market, it means that any bounce, which we will get bounces and they will be significant, but the problem with that is that when you're so far under supply, that they're going to immediately get rejected, and then you're going to put in another leg down, and then you're going to consolidate, and then you're going to get another bounce, and then it's going to put in another leg down, and then it's going to bounce, and then it's going to consolidate, and it's going to put in another leg down. The overall trend is going to be down. This is not what you want to see, because it would be very, very hard for the bulls to have some sort of V-shaped recovery, meaning wash this level out and then completely break back up and get over these supplies. This would be the move that would need to happen for a V-shaped recovery. But if we kind of talk about that from just where we stand now, the futures are currently sitting at 13,700, let's call it. We would need to get back over 15,000. So we're talking a lot of ground. We're talking a tremendous amount of ground that they would need to pick up. We're talking almost 200 base or 2,000 basis points that the Qs would need to recover on a V-shaped recovery. And that V-shaped recovery can't take 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. It would need to take a matter of a couple of days for that move to be strong, because the longer we trade under this area, every time we come up, all we're doing is just getting weaker every time we come into these zones. So these bounces would get weaker, and then the overall trend would continue down. Now, here is the best case possible scenario, because there's always a good scenario. For every bad, there's good, and for every good, there's bad. So that's the bad. That's the worst. That's the worst case scenario. Here is the best case scenario, that they do continue to wash us out. However, we make a strong double bottom here. This area down here at 13,712, and on the Qs, I believe it's 334 or 335 on the triple Qs. But that area is going to have a lot of price action. It's going to have a lot of buyers in that area. And if we can hold and manage to, continue to claim this area, we could then, with good news coming from Russia and Ukraine, and maybe a defuse of the situation over there, we could see a V-shaped recovery from here, which would not be hard. First area that we would need to take out would be 14,481 and then 1,500, and I can completely see this happening going forward, and that would put the overall market in a very, very good spot if we continue to hold. But all bets are off if we break this level. If we break this level and overshoot it, you still have a potential for that V shape. However, that 14,481 is going to be a very, very strong level. And if we cannot get over that level, I would expect a further washout to the downside. So, a lot going on with the stock market. Just when you think things are getting better, it always seems to get worse. And then when you think things can't get any worse, they get better. This market is very, very volatile. It's very, very news driven. There's a lot of uncertainty in this market, and it's a very, very tough environment to trade. It's a very, very tough environment to just say, hey, you know what? We're making lows here. I remember the last time that, say, the triple Qs were at this level, they had a bounce. I remember the last time that, say, Nvidia and Tesla were down at this level, they had a nice bounce. But the thing is that if we do go into that corrective and bear market, if we get into that bear market, which I know a lot of you guys don't want to hear that, but if we get into that bear market, those stocks necessarily do not have to come back up. Their bounces can be significant, but they might not come back up to the levels that we were trading at in the prior 2 months, meaning that those would now be resistance levels, and we might have a nice bounce where we almost make it, and then we kind of get weak and we fall backwards. So we're really going to need to see a strong effort sometime between now and when the live markets open up tomorrow. But this could be a move on low volume, because it's like the saying, if there's nobody home to answer the door, then the burglar has an easy entrance. Meaning that if there's not a lot of market participants and there's not a lot of bulls stepping in to buy this because of the long 3-day weekend, then we hold this level, then you can see a very, very strong bounce tomorrow. And I would be thinking 200, 300, 400 point bounce tomorrow, along with good news. So be prepared tomorrow to not have a bias going in. We have a very clear level in the sand to the downside, and that level is 13,700. If we lose this zone, this is going to be an easy flush for a lot of mega cap stocks. This is an easy short position. I would not think about going long. Now, if we hold this level, if we hold this level and we get some good headlines between today and tomorrow morning when market opens, and we hold, I could expect a very, very strong bounce tomorrow. and I would be looking for longs. Okay, I would be looking for longs, and 14,480 would be the level where I would want to kind of clear those positions just in case we do start to get weak in this zone and roll over. I could be ready to take that short position and or sit out of the market until we see further data. But definitely we could get a strong bounce, and definitely we could get a washout. Right now it's completely 50-50 until one of these areas breaks. We cannot have a bias. We cannot swing. We cannot hold positions overnight. You cannot hold positions overnight in this environment until we get back over supply, or until we flush. You cannot hold positions overnight. I don't care what anyone is telling you. If you want to gamble your money, go right ahead. If you want to be smart and be an adult about this, you need to stay patient and you need to play the trend. You need to play the trend, guys. I hope this video helps, guys. If you guys want to trade with me each and every single day live, where you can kind of see these levels intraday as well as the stocks that I'm trading, join my Discord. That link is down in the description box below. If you guys are looking for a strategy, you guys are looking to learn how to trade, and you want to understand, how do the institutions trade? What is supply and demand? How do we move these? How do we use these indicators to be able to trade consistently? Visit my website, evolutiontraders.com. Sign up for the lifetime membership access. Definitely going to be a lot of great stuff in there. And I will see you guys all on the next video.